Did anyone have anything paranormal or unexplainable happen to them ever in their life? Does anyone have any kind of unexplained event or like I may have saw like a UFO or like even if it doesn't have to be alien or paranormal, it could just be something that weird happened that you like can't quite explain, or a time you maybe saw a ghost or something that looked weird, anything at all?
I saw a UFO, and I was with someone who corroborated seeing that UFO
Ooh,
at the
that's
time.
nice. That's the best
We didn't
kind.
take any pictures because that's
What
stupid.
kind? Like, what was it like? Was it just like a moving
It
thing in the
was.
sky,
We
or like?
were driving home from Christmas. It was on the road between Red Deer and Edmonton, so it's road that everyone's driven 1,000 times. And I just happened to be looking up, and there was a thing in the sky that was like, it almost looked like the Tetris piece that's 2 across and then 4 down, like
The L kind of.
the L piece, yeah. But it was big and silver and like really far away, and it was just there for like 5 minutes, just there, and then it was gone. Like it never moved away. It just stopped being there. It was really weird.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it kind of like it vanished, kind of.
Kind of, or I stopped paying attention, like just trying to focus on something for so long.
You
Eventually,
look away for a second and it's gone.
yeah, exactly. I did. It was just gone at one point.
But it was enough of a odd shape that
sitting
you
still for long, sitting still and a weird shape that I was like, that's really weird.
and you knew it was flying. It wasn't kind of like being held up by something.
No, I don't know that, but it had to have been. Like, how else? What could hold something up in the sky on a clear blue day?
Oh, it was a clear blue day. Okay,
It was a clear blue day. Yeah, it was. It was. We woke up that morning and it was -50 out on our car thermostat.
What?
It was like a crazy cold day.
Oh, okay, wow.
So
or like, you know how those
blue.
thermostat, it only felt -50 or whatever in the garage, but it's still.
And you were driving at the time, like you were in the car moving, and you could see this thing. And you knew, and the people, you were saying other people in the vehicle were corroborating it.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, and then they went back to driving, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep looking at this.
I'm assuming you were young.
No, this is like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay, that changes everything. Okay.
Yeah, this is recent-ish. Oh no, it's pre-COVID, so 2018 probably.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I know. I don't know what it was. I'll never be able to know what it was, really. Like, it's just a thing that might have been a mass delusion shared by 2 of us. I don't know.
I actually believe stories more when they happen pre-COVID.
It's true. All of our brains got damaged in that.
Everyone just seems making stuff up all the time now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had when I was the first time I went traveling by myself to somewhere out of Canada, I went to Scotland, and I was staying at a hostel, and I was asleep, and I had a dream about this like weird face that was like screaming at me, and when I woke up and I could hear someone screaming still, and I was like, what? And so I got up and I looked out in the hallway, and there were people coming out of their rooms as well, and they were all huddled around this one door that was just across from mine, and they opened up the door, or the person who was inside opened up the door, and everyone was like, are you okay? Like, we heard someone screaming, and the lady inside says, oh, that was just my friend. She thought she saw something, but she's okay now. And I could see into the room, and this girl was in her bed, and just white as it go, like panting. She was so scared, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. But anyways, we all went back to bed because she said she was fine. And then about an hour later, the fire alarm gets pulled, so we're all out in the street, and waiting for the fire truck to come to this hostel. And I see the 2 girls one of them was scared, and I walked up to them. I was like, oh, hey, are you okay? And she was like, she wouldn't talk, like she was just completely mute. And her friend was like, yeah, she's still pretty messed up. She hasn't gone to sleep. And I was like, what did she see? And she said that her friend told her that she woke up and she saw something like a black mass kind of like at the foot of her bed, and it bubbled up, and it had long, slender, long fingers, and it like stood up, and it was really tall, like 7 or 8 feet or something. And then she said she saw it and she screamed, and then her friend woke up, and then it was gone. And she drew like a picture of it, and I still have it somewhere. She gave it to me. She's like, this is what I saw. And she drew a picture of this thing that, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't look like any creature. It's not like it looks just like Dracula or something. It just looks like a creature with like really
It's just Frankenstein.
yeah, just long fingers. And that was maybe the weirdest thing to me, because this girl was legitimately scared. Like I've never seen anyone in that sort of like catatonic, just totally paralyzed state.
Well, did you say you had a weird dream leading into
I
this?
thought you
Yeah,
were going to
so-
say that the creature looked like the creature in
No, no.
Titanium. That
Yeah.
was going to freak me out.
That would have been good. I should have just said that anyway. But yeah, no, the dream was just, I think I was hearing things going on, and
Right.
it affected my dream a little bit. But
Right.
yeah, it was that whole trip. I was by myself, and Scotland's just a cool place, and it's just very. It feels like one of the last places, or one of the last places, also the first place, I guess, to have like magic. It just feels
Oh,
like
yeah.
every corner there's something supernatural. Or I always said it's weird because they have like, you walk down their streets and it'll be like a 7-Eleven next to a graveyard. You know, that's just how it is. Everything's just sort of mixed in. Different time periods are just kind of overlapping one another, and they have a lot of good history, a lot of good, really interesting, fascinating stuff. So yeah, that was probably the closest supernatural thing for me, which was kind of secondhand anyways, but
That's
still
cool.
freaky.
No, I wish something would happen to me so bad. I just want it to be true so bad.
Yeah. You were born in one of the most haunted places in the city, apparently.
That's true. So yeah, it's closed
Yeah.
down now.
I think it's like fancy condos
Oh
now.
yeah, right.
What is
Yeah.
it?
The Campsall.
Hospital.
Yeah.
Campsall? I don't even know if I've heard of that.
It's over by Westmount, kind of.
Oh yeah, that's the one that over by that church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah. And apparently it's one of the most haunted places in the city. I don't know.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen a ghost, but
Yeah.
It's funny. You always want to have like the
Yeah, exactly.
hallucinations and all this.
Yeah. Totally. I just want something crazy to happen.
yeah.
I want to be like, some people are just like no, I saw it happen, and so I believe in this because I saw it with my own eyes. That's what I want to be. I want to be like, no, I fucking saw a ghost.
I have only two. One of the craziest one isn't your typical like thing, but it's definitely the most unexplained and weird thing that's happened to me. Other one I'll do really quickly because it's a quick story. But the first one was when I was a kid, very little. Me and my friends were playing hide and seek, and the person counting, like we would have the bedroom was pitch black, and the person counting, the seeker, I guess, would stay in that room, close their eyes, count to whatever, and then everyone else in the house would run around and hide. And I was the seeker in this one round, so I was in this dark room. It was pitch black, and my eyes were closed as well. And we were facing, I was facing like a wall, essentially, like very close to it, doing the classic like countdown kind of thing. And during my countdown, I opened my eyes, and there were two like red eyes like right in front of me, like staring right back at me. They looked like actual like demon eyes, and it was I don't, to this day I don't know how I moved so fast, but I remember like screaming, and I was like, just in a blink of an eye, like I had bounced backwards and like sprinted out the room like screaming. And I told everyone what happened, and we went back in the room, and we were trying to figure out like what possibly could have been, because like I was right in a wall, so there's not much space in between me. There's no clocks, there's no like there was nothing. And so that was a weird one. It was just like two like demon eyes, like red eyes staring at me in the dark. That to this day I have no idea what that was about. My second one is I might tell the story bad because I haven't told it in a long time, but I used to tell everyone for a long time. It happened in high school, actually. But during high school, my dreams were very like just mundane. Like I would go to bed and dream of like waking up and having a dry throat, going to the kitchen, pouring a glass of water, drinking it. And they were so plain and normal and mundane that I started like almost confusing them with actual like memories or things that I was doing. And I would wake up or be in bed and be like, wait, did I just get water, or was that a dream? Like they're just so believable and normal. And then those like changed to like things where things would happen in the dream that like, and I'm sure everyone's had like, you know, the, what's it called, what's that glitch in the Matrix thing called, like deja vu, where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like you would swear someone said something that you've heard before or whatever, or you've experienced something before, but mine were becoming way more like, I was like, no, I remember dreaming this, like for sure. It wasn't like a blurry memory or like a deja vu feeling. It was like, no, I legitimately dreamed like this exact moment, to the point where I could like, I swear I could like know what was going to happen. And this kept getting more and more stronger like throughout the entire semester of high school. And I was telling like Jacob, I don't know if you remember him, like Jacob and Enver and stuff, I was telling them like this was happening. And one time in gym class, we were doing like a volleyball unit or whatever, and Jacob and I were standing side by side, and he like pointed down at my shoe and was like, "Oh, your shoe's like untied or whatever." And so I went down, and as I bent down, I like that triggered a thing where I was like, "Oh, this is." I've dreamt this already, and this is one of those moments. And as I was tying my shoe, I looked up at Jacob and I was like, Tyler is going to come over and say this. I forget what the sentence was, but I was like, Tyler's going to come over and say blah, blah, blah. And like before I finished it, Tyler came over and said that word for word. And like that was the only time where like I had a corroboration where Jacob actually looked at me and was like, whoa, like, and I was like, that's what I was talking about. and then ever since that moment, I never had another dream like that ever again. Like it was like,
So you wasted your one future
prediction.
yeah. Just telling Jacob something Tyler was going to say
in 2 seconds.
Oh no,
that's really weird, because when I was growing up, I used to have the same thing, and to the point where I also tried to tell people beforehand, but I would never be able to say it in time until this one time when it was grade 5, day 1 of school, and we didn't know who the teacher was going to be, and the principal came in and said, "Hey everyone, I just wanted to give an introduction to your teacher this year. It's going to be a surprise." And I suddenly remembered having a dream where I knew the teacher, and her name was Miss Tuck, and her name. And that was important because she used to be the music teacher, but she
I remember
retired.
her.
And then for some, I said out loud, and I was in my seat, and I said, "It's going to be Miss Tuck," and everybody laughed at me. Nobody really liked her, and she was the music teacher, and everyone kind of hated her because she was really strict, and everyone kind of laughed. And then, sure enough, it was Miss Tuck that walked in, and that was the only. Also, that was the only time I was able to like successfully find the moment and predict it for other people to witness.
Weird.
And that's
You've got to talk to other members of your family about this and see.
We were oracles in another life.
Yeah.
I missed that era of dreams because my dreams were so powerful in high school. Like I would have those kind of things, like I guess they're premonition type things, and then I also had like super lucid ones where I could do anything I wanted, and I could fly around. And ever since high school, I never been able to do that again.
Yeah, there's something about like when you're a child, maybe you just don't have like the stresses of adult life or something, and it's easier to get into that state. But it was I always found that as soon as I took control of a dream, though, I only had like a few seconds, and my brain would wake up. So I never really got to enjoy, pulling an Uzi out on a zombie chasing.
Yeah, those are the that's all. I've never seen. Yeah, I really would love to see a UFO or some kind of alien thing.
Yeah.
What about that?
Especially now that
Cooper, you had that thing where you were driving with Dad, remember? And you
oh yeah, I don't even know what that was. I guess that is unexplainable. So this is actually kind of like what I guess that's pre-COVID as well, probably 2016, 17, around there. I don't know. We were driving from Vancouver to Edmonton to get to Edmonton for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was snowy and very dark. And we were at this section of the drive where we were going through lots of tunnels, and we were driving up to this one tunnel, and my dad was obviously he's going fast. We were driving, but I could tell, I noticed before him that the tunnel was closed, but he was I don't know if he noticed this yet, and so he's still going towards this like essentially a dead end like at top speed. And so you know, when you're the passenger, I don't know how, like I don't tell people things right away because I'm assuming like they're gonna know they're the one driving. So I'm a little nervous being like, you know,
there's a wall there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't really say anything at first, but then I get a little uneasy because like he's not stopping, and then and then eventually I kind of, I don't know, I must have made a noise or some, I kind of made a thing where, and then at the same time he starts to slow down, and I notice him like peering out the window, and we come to a complete stop, and my dad's like, what? Like, what is? And I'm like, yeah, the tunnel is just like one of the tunnels is just completely blocked off. Like there's a solid wall, and there was traffic ahead of us at one point too. Like there was traffic. There were people in front of us.
What?
And now, and there's no way to go. There's no other roads to go. It's just one winding thing, and we're just stopped in the vehicle looking at this solid wall. And we're both looking at each other like, what is this? And we're both so confused. And then it almost seemed like at the exact same time, we were both like, oh, no, there's no wall there. And we just suddenly, there was nothing there.
Weird.
And like, and we laughed like so hard, but like, it was like, we both saw like a solid, like you could even see the reflective surface. Like it was definitely a solid thing. And then it was, I don't know if it was an optical illusion, but it was at the exact same time. We were both like, oh, no, it's just dark. Like we just drove through it, and it was just the weirdest thing that both of us reacted that strongly to this.
The
thing.
magic just wore off.
Yeah.